Hey there folks, this is GreenXI, welcoming you right back to Let's Play Higurashi. This is episode 14, and today, if my voice sounds a bit funny, it's probably because I was up spewing last night. I sort of woke up in the middle of the night, my nose was gushing out, my throat was raw, and then I realised I had to run to the bog and spew up my Chinese rice and weird pink liquid, whatever the hell that was. Anyway, in the last episode we finished chapter 7, or was it chapter 8? Chapter 7 I think, and our favourite photographer died, and our favourite nurse went missing. Or, you know, our only nurse who we barely know anything about. Anyway, let's get going. Let's make a start on the next chapter, which I can't remember if it's 8 or 9. I think it's 8, but I don't know. Sleepy. Wow! That was a really big yawn, Keiichi. I'm usually awake once it's time to eat, but it doesn't look like I can do it today. I was watching TV until late last night. I'm so tired right now. See, that's what I do all the time. Not just TV, like Netflix or games or something. Was one of those raunchy TV shows you loved so much on last night? How extremely vile. Don't jump to conclusions. Was he watching his porn? It's perfectly normal for boys, nothing to be ashamed about. Exactly. We all do it. Might not want to admit it to people, but we all do it. We cannot pat my head only made me feel worse. Could you just let me pass out this lunch break? No, seriously. Now you think I would just sit here and allow that? I'll get really angry if you disturb me. Really angry. Yawn. He's so tired. He probably hasn't been able to sleep since the death and everything. This was just dreadful. Just so sleepy. I slumped my head onto the desk and drifted off into an afternoon nap. Oh, I love afternoon naps. There's not very often I can do it, even if I lie there for ages, but when you wake up then you feel amazing. It seemed that Sadako had responded, but I pretended not to hear. Cut it out, Sadako-chan. Keiichi-kun fell asleep. His sleeping face, so cute. You can take him home later. Let him be for now. Let's move over there. Ah, I've actually letting him sleep. It'd be rude to Keiichi if we bothered him now. Exactly. You know, I live with a family in this house where once somebody else is awake, they'll put the music on full blast, they'll get the telly on full blast, they'll all shout around the house as loud as possible. You can't sleep in this house. So, you know, it is rude. It's very rude. Rika-chan really is a good girl. Let's not wake him up even if the teacher comes back. I take that back. The excuse that I didn't sleep much last night because I was watching TV was a lie. I knew it. I was in bed at the usual time, but because of the conversation with Higurashi-san that afternoon, I didn't get much sleep. To spend in a day like this, it's almost as if the incident with Tomotaki-san didn't happen at all. It made me think, was Higurashi-san just trying to deceive me? You know, this happening now was making me think that there won't be a club activity this time. But it was probably the truth. One thing was certain, I couldn't speak to anyone about it. He wanted my assistance, but I really didn't know anything about it. If I knew I wasn't going to be of any help, I probably wouldn't have listened to it in the first place. It ended up with me, again, regretting learning something I didn't need to know. If I had never learned about it, I would, without a doubt, be goofing off with the rest of them right now. I couldn't help but resent Uishi-san for this. When was that? I heard he wasn't there the next day. It appears he vanished the night of the Watanagashi. Mion whispered to keep others from listening, but I could hear it clearly. On the other hand, Rena's voice was even harder to pick up. But I could still tell that she was quite upset. It couldn't be. Are they talking about Tomotaki-san? I think so. Itaki? Sounds like it. Not sure. That's all I know. I would have to feign ignorance about this topic because I needed to keep it a secret. Rather than waking up and being forced to lie to join the conversation, it's much easier just to sit here and pretend I was asleep to listen in on their discussion. Wait, why did I have to pretend to be asleep while eavesdropping on my friend's conversation? The guilt stung. So, and me, there are others, right? Two? But they don't know if it's from the curse or if this was an Onikakushi. A what? Onikakushi? To be hidden away by a demon? Spirited away. Now, what's it called in the manga? Hold on, let me check this. Abducted by demons, that's the one. What a mysterious phrase. I did, however, get the feeling it meant nothing good. Yeah, there was another, right? Right? Why is it going all like this? I mean, he's listening in and they're right by him, ain't they? Pretty much. So can't he hear it all? If it's Oyashiro-sama's, yeah. But, this year, at all? Grandma and the mayor had talked about it. Seems they talked to the police about it beforehand. They said they'd take care of whatever happens this year without causing a commotion, so they don't want anyone to know. Then, without us knowing it, someone had... them, you mean? Maybe. Next could me, I wonder. Don't worry. You got home safely, but is not allowed, right? That was a long time ago. Let's stop talking about this. Amidst the uncomfortable mood, both of them went silent. The entirety of the conversation was still a bit unclear, but a few parts caught my attention. First of all, the term onakakushi, to be demoned away. By the context it was used in, I would guess it's similar to being spirited away. That's a very Japanese thing, isn't it? I got the film here, Spirited Away. I'm gonna watch it soon. I suspected that was what it meant because Tomitake-san and that woman really bugged me that I don't know her name. Vanished after the Watanagashi. The next thing that stuck out was when Rena said, "There's another one, right?" Mion also said, "If it's Oyashiro-sama's, yeah," responded to something. If it's Oyashiro-sama's curse, then there had to be 2 victims. Is that what she meant? Come to think of it, I remember Mion saying at the beginning that they didn't know if it was from the curse or if it was the case of onakakushi. It seems that the curse and being demoned away are different things, and they were phenomena that were paired together. I recall Tomitake-san's terrible end. I love this screen, this artwork by you. It's the one that they use for all the question arcs in the manga, the cover. They always have this blood splatter in the black with a character, and it's so nice. That wasn't something as elegant as disappearing. That horrendous end would best be described as cursed. Then, the woman with him, it means she's vanished because she was demoned away. What I do know is that there's normally an even number of victims of the curse proper, and the last point that bothered me was Rena. Rena was frightened. For what reason, I don't know. Well, she didn't live here at the start, did she? She could be someone who gets killed off or demoned away next year, or could have been this year, you know. For what reason, I didn't know. However, she knew that something had made her a potential target for Oyashiro-sama's curse. If I recall correctly, he should be the guardian deity of Hinamizawa. Guardian being loose. Isn't a guardian deity supposed to defend the citizens and drive out invaders? If I recall correctly, yesterday Uishi-san said that originally the targets were enemies of the village, but recently there were no longer any distinction between them or regular outsiders. But if that was the case, then I would think that I'd be the more likely target, having moved here more recently than Rena. Yeah, that's true. From her composure, I could infer that she was grimly certain that she would be next. I should probably relay what I heard just now to Uishi-san. Inform the police of what I heard by eavesdropping on my friends while pretending to be asleep. How... It's worth it though, isn't it, if there's a police investigation, if we've got to do it. It made me feel terrible. It raised a few questions and left me with a bad taste in my mouth. Would it be better not to seek the answers to those questions? As I continued to learn more and more, I felt like I had fallen past the point of no return. I would definitely regret this one day. I would definitely regret ever having learned of this event. The teacher approaches. Keiichi-san, you must awaken. In the distance, I could hear the ring of the handbell signalling at the start of afternoon classes. Ah, nice happy music now. We got through all that, haven't we? Ooh, where was we? Yeah, I couldn't sleep at all. Sorry, I forgot to put the timer on my phone. Started now, no. I hastily opened my eyes and raised my head up. It was in that moment when I leaned against the back of my seat. Oh wow! There was a thumbtack stuck on the back of my chair with tape. Oh, Sadako, you cow. Circumstantial evidence was enough. Sadako! Guilty without trial. Capital punishment. She's going to be beheaded. I furiously jumped up from my seat. I tripped as if my feet were tangled up. My shoelaces had been tied together. Not bad, Sadako. While I was sleeping, you were able to conceal your presence and able to pull off this fine piece of work. The teacher came in right as I was about to pull off my shoes and tackle Sadako. Oh. Did you not notice that our teacher has arrived, Keiichi-san? Take your seat. Can't. Not caring one bit, I made her eat a flick to the forehead. Yeah, take that. Blah! Keiichi-san's being mean. Hey, don't pick on the younger kids, Mayabara-kun. Apologise to her. Yeah, apologise to her, that's what we should be doing. I saw Sadako stick her tongue out at me, that little brat. You know, in this arc, Sadako really does seem like a brat, don't she? But when we get to other arcs, there's one arc in particular that's all about Sadako and when... Because this arc right now is all about Keiichi, I would say, and how he's a newcomer, how he's getting used to the place, how things are changing. I was learning the negative side of Hinamazawa. And then you go to Satoko's arc a couple of arcs later, and it gets you knowing about her, because each arc has a character, pretty much. Something like that, anyway. And Satoko's arc is a bit more subtle than the others. It's not quite as bloody. But I don't know, it's, at least in anime terms, it's really nice. You get to know Satoko a bit more. Come on, Mario Barakun. Yeah, I'll apologise. Sorry, Satoko-san. In any case, I apologised, even if it was in a completely insincere tone of voice. Damn her, I'll remember this. Keiichi-chan, get your revenge at the club meeting. Take a seat. I sat down after Mion told me to. She'd switched to class representative mode. Excuse me. What's going on? Come on, text. Ah, there we go. With the boring classes finished, school was finally over for the day. You know, I actually missed school. I enjoyed school while I was there. It wasn't a particularly brilliant school, but the people I was with during that year, it was really actually quite fun because of it. Now then, what should we do for our club today? Personally, I would like to play that deduction game one more time. I don't make us sit through that again. I was hardly able to play it last time because of Higurashi-san. Rena and I weren't even able to test out our strategy. That's true. That's right, today Keiichi-kun and I will be victorious. No. What should we do? We've never played the same game 2 days in a row before. Don't do it now either. Why not try asking me? Mion looked over her shoulder as we made eye contact. She slowly tapped her palm with her fist as her face suddenly lit up. Oops, I completely forgot. I need to go help my uncle today. Sorry guys, not today. Helping your uncle? Aren't you a little goody two-shoes? Ain't it funny, Ushi said that there's a chance that Mion had something to do with the murder, and now, for once, she never does this, but for once, she's skipping club activities and going to help her uncle. Air quote. Sorry, really. I really did forget. Well then, sorry guys. This old man's heading back home now. I remember this in the anime actually. Mion left us with that and rushed off to the exit after snatching up her bag. Whenever I say the anime, I think I'll just mean the manga as well, because they're pretty much the same. Maybe a couple of differences, but I don't know, I can't remember the differences between those two too much. You see, Mi-chan, she sometimes goes to help out at her uncle's shop in town. I thought she wasn't the type to get caught up in such bothersome stuff. She said that she gets paid for it. It's quite a bit of spending money from what I hear. I see. She was able to pay for that mountain of games with what she saved up from there. But that, when you call that a part-time job, isn't that against school policy? I don't know, if it's your family. When I was in school, or at least in sixth form, I helped out my dad in his shop as well, and I mean, we're allowed part-time jobs over here. We've recommended doing sixth form in the UK. We've recommended not to have a part-time job and to focus on studies for that time. But they don't say you can't. It's not a, you know, you're allowed to. There's a clause that states family businesses are excluded. Is that what she's calling it? So what now? Pass on the club today? So, we're done today, I guess. Won't it be fine even without the club president? Let's do this. Will they though? I opened the club locker and began searching for the deduction game from that ever-growing pile of games. Here it is, the deduction game from yesterday. I had to stop just as I was getting the hang of it. At the very least, I wanted to repay Satoko for what she did during the afternoon break. Oh, okay, they're gonna play again. I don't mind. We'll just have fun for Rena-san and Rika. If Keiichi-kun wants to so badly, I won't mind playing for a bit. They don't look like they really want to though. I think it's better if we do it when we have everyone together. Exactly. When she says it like that. I wanted to go shopping if there wasn't a club meeting today. I'm going to buy soy sauce and other things. Oh, that's right. What is soy sauce actually? I've had it with pot noodle, if that counts. But I don't know what it is exactly. Oh, that's right. I completely forgot. Well, I guess since it's been a while, I should go treasure hunting. What's this now? Everyone was no longer in the mood for club activities. No. If I kept on trying to push them at her, it may make them realise I had a trick up my sleeve. Ah well, I'll give it up this time. Man, I was really looking forward to playing it. I shuffled through the cards as if I was still caught up on it. At the next opportunity, I shall give her a sound thrashing. The murderer is Satoko. The murder weapon is the pistol. It was you after all. What did you say? Then I'll jest. Satoko looked through the cards on the desk and stuck out 3 of them at me. The murderer is Keiichi, in the lounge with the rope. Not the candlestick? Nope. I don't need no rope. I'll just strangle you like this. No. Keiichi-san's such a beast. Phew. Well, I guess it's good that I got out of my system. Oh god, she's off again. I'll remember this, Keiichi-san. She's not going to lose the next games. She was used as a plaything for quite a while. How unfortunate. Used as a plaything. Ahaha, cute, cute. Everyone got ready to go back home. I also helped gather up the scattered cards. I suddenly paused. Oh, bloody hell, I did too. I didn't mean to do that. They were just the suspect cards, but I noticed something strange. Rena, Satoko, Rika, Keiichi, Mion. Satoshi. Satoshi? Who's that? Not all the cards were made by us. Okay, Satoshi is another character coming in now. I mean, we won't meet him during this arc, but we'll learn about his name and who he is and stuff like that. Or at least every card besides this one has the name of a club member. So yeah, it'll be more important in other arcs. Does this mean that this Satoshi fellow is a member? Was there someone in the class named Satoshi? I couldn't find anyone named Satoshi on the class roster stuck up on the wall. Keiichi-kun, let's hurry and finish cleaning up. Being rushed by Rena, I finished up quickly. Satoko and Rika-chan had already headed merrily for their lockers, so we were the only ones left in the classroom. Right now, Rena had already gotten her bag and was ready to leave. Rena, there must be quite a few people who transfer from the school, right? I tried asking Rena in a bit of a roundabout way. Rena made a troubled face and then answered, Yeah, Hinamazawa is a rural town, right? Some people transfer out every now and then. Then is Satoshi another one of those transferees? Sorry, I don't really know. She looks a bit panicked. There was a bit of a pause, but the answer was pretty much immediate. I'm not saying it to be mean. Just last year, I transferred in, so maybe I just missed him. So I didn't hear much about him. Maybe. Sorry. Well, okay, I'll accept that, but her face seemed a bit suspicious. I'm not sure, sorry. Her answer was a lot like when she refused to tell me about the murder at the dam. I was saddened by her denial, and felt a little bit of anger. I'm their friend, aren't I? Friends don't keep secrets from their friends, do they? Though I do appreciate that they kept that unsettling curse thing from me. But if everyone's worried about it, I'd rather be worried with them. That's what it means to be friends, right? Okay, it looks like Keiichi's getting his first proper form of doubt ingrained into him about his friends. I won't say any more until we get to it. For a moment, I wondered just what kind of face I was making just then, with these mixed feelings of sadness and annoyance. Keiichi-kun, making a scary face. Why is it? Why? It was probably exactly the kind of face Rena said it was. It appeared my grim expression had frightened her. Ah, sorry. I was really looking forward to the club today. I'm just feeling down about it. I rustled Rena's hair. Let's go home. Dragging that awkward mood with us, we headed home. Ah. So, Satoshi. Who could he be? I wonder why. Why have I been getting this dumb feeling lately? I didn't know anything. I had nothing to worry about. I was just enjoying my everyday life. My long, outstretched shadow gave no answer to my naive inquiry. Keiichi-kun, you tired, maybe? Maybe? Rena timidly questioned the reason behind my mood. I'm sure my expression made the situation even more unsettling. You think so? Yeah. You seem to have been a little out of it ever since this morning. Maybe a cold? Physically, I was pretty sure I was in perfect health. It may not seem like it, but I've had perfect attendance since elementary school. Rena continued on, since I didn't give her an answer. It could be that the fatigue from moving has finally caught up to you. It's completely different from where you used to live after all. I came back from holidays not long ago, and it's like a 26-hour bus ride, so... When I first got home, I was fine, and then I woke up the next day, and I was really awake, really energetic, more than I have been for a few years. And then yesterday I got home, I fell asleep as soon as I got home, and I was sick and everything, so... It was, I think it does catch up to you, these things, and I find it weird that they do, but... It happens, I suppose. Of course, you've gotten tired, since there's so much you need to get used to and remember. Maybe that's it. Yeah, it has to be. Rena was also like that at first, too. I can tell, you know? You know? I wondered if Rena also experienced a slight bit of alienation last year that I was feeling right now. Thinking so, I felt that she was the only one who could understand how I felt, I wonder if she wondered about all the murders and stuff as well. If she found out about them from her mates, from our mates, or from, like, photography man or whatever. I keep calling him that because I always forget his name. Is it Tomitaki? I think that's it. I'd like to hear about when you first came to Hinamizawa. How was it? Feeling I had been drawn into the conversation, her face suddenly brightened. It was the same as Keiichi-kun. I didn't know the villagers' names at all. Michan and the rest were all very kind, so I wasn't lonely, but I did still feel a little out of place. Rena told me all the details of when she had moved here. All of her first acquaintances and surprises, worries and good times. So, Satoko got you too? Yeah. There's a thumbtack put on my chair. Poke! With that, yeah. That really takes me back. When were you invited into the club? The first day? Nah. There wasn't a club at the beginning. It was formed partway through. One day she said we should stay after and hold a big game tournament. Come to think of it, Mion did say she was the first club president. So, it hadn't been going for very long then. A year at the most. Now I get it. This is a secret, but Michan used to be really bad at the beginning. Really? She'd never win. Huh? Mion? Really? I can't even imagine that. She had to do most of the penalties that she came up with. Seriously, don't tell. I can't believe Mion was like that. So she gradually transformed into a monster who used any means necessary to win during that time. She had to cheat, in other words, to win. Mion is at her best when she's fighting dirty. I began making more friends besides Michan after that, but yeah, it might have only been since you moved here that I had finally felt like I had gotten used to it here. I guess Rena had also been left in the dark about Oyashiro-sama when she had just moved here. I guess when they finally told me about Oyashiro-sama, I'd be considered one of them. I wonder when I'd finally be considered one of them. Huh? Did you say something? No, sorry. Just talking to myself. Oh, you shouldn't be talking out loud. Keiichi-kun, you're silly. Rena was poking fun and laughing at me. I couldn't help but laugh as well. But I suddenly stopped. Then, after making up my mind, I spoke. Hey Rena, is there something that everybody is keeping from me? Oh god, that was a strange face. No, not at all. You're lying, aren't you? Rena suddenly stopped. Her expression was cold and intense. What do you mean by that, Keiichi-kun? Her tone was still the same cheery and light-hearted one as before. You are, aren't you? Keeping something from me? After understanding what I meant, her expression grew even more intense. Seeing that face, I regretted saying something so rash, but she came back at me in a way I didn't expect. Oh! It's the face! They do this in the anime all the time, where whenever a character is going into sort of the insane mode, I don't know how else to put it, their insane mode, then they do a weird face and it goes all funny, and that's how the anime does really well. Well then, Keiichi-kun, aren't you keeping something from us? Huh? Her tone didn't change, but it was the first time I'd seen this expression from Rena. With how her gaze pierced through me, I couldn't believe this was the same Rena. Aren't you? Lies or secrets? Aren't you? You are. Secrets. She didn't exactly say that part, but she looked as if she did. The incident with Tomitaki-san and how I felt alienated from the group. Even without having to think about it, there were things I knew that I felt guilty about. But I didn't tell everyone about what happened with Tomitaki-san to be considerate. I was keeping it a secret just the same way they didn't tell me about Oyashiro-sama. Then aren't we even? No, I'm not. No lies. Oh, Keiichi is telling lies. I mean, keeping some a secret. He's the detective after all. No secrets. Liar. Her answer was instant and it shook me. Rena stared as if burrowing through me, watching me like a hawk. Why would you say I'm lying? Didn't you say that you were called into the teacher's room yesterday during the club meeting, Keiichi-kun? I know. You didn't go to the teacher's room. I swallowed hard. It clearly wasn't a bluff. She knew what happened. The teacher said you had a guest, didn't she? But you didn't talk at the entrance. You talked inside of the car near the school gate, with some man we don't know. Rena knew everything. Huh? Someone added me to his or her friends list. Oh, okay. She knew that I was called out by Ushi-san, and that I heard about the incident with Tomitaki-san as well. Did she know all of it? Exactly who was that man? I don't know him. Why did someone you don't know have business with you? I want to know that myself. Then what did you talk about? It has nothing to do with you guys. It was a lie. Oh god. Lies. Rena's scream echoed through the trees, sending frightened birds into the air. I couldn't exhale the deep breath I had just taken. No, it was like I wasn't allowed to exhale. It was here I first realised. The person in front of me, she wasn't Rena Ryugu. Then who was it that was standing before me now? Who had assumed Rena Ryugu's appearance? I had held my breath for so long I couldn't feel myself suffocating. Oh, she's happy again. Right? And then she made a facial expression that Rena normally might have made. It didn't matter that it was Rena's usual smile. It chilled me to the bone. She drew closer to me. I felt her breath against my face. It wasn't the least bit exciting. Whoever this was with Rena's face was going to chew my nose right off. I cowered as I imagined that. Then she smirked as if she was able to see right through me. We also have secrets, just like how Keiichi-kun has secrets. It was Rena's usual smile. But her eyes were still like that of a hawk. Bringing her face close enough to mine to almost bump into my nose, she kindly persuaded me. I couldn't nod or shake my head. This person standing in front of me, this person who looked like Rena, frightened me to the core. I was terrified knowing that she could hear the sound of me swallowing nervously. After what felt like an eternity, after a long, empty silence, she finally spoke. Let's go. It's getting chilly. It was Rena again. Smiling at me once more, she started walking as if nothing at all had happened. When I was released from her gaze, my legs gave out from under me and I slumped onto the ground. I wasn't able to lift a finger until Rena was out of sight. Who was that? I felt cold. My body was drenched in sweat. I was finally able to form a coherent thought and ask myself once again, who was that person? Who looked like Rena Ryugu? Okay, end of chapter. That's a brilliant place to end as well. Or chapter part, whatever it is. I want to give you this question before things go on. Something to think about. Is Rena really being weird? Or is Keiichi being paranoid because of all the newspapers and stories he's been told about murder and stuff throughout the village? I think that's all I can say now, just so you know. So, this has been Green Excite. I hope you've enjoyed this really good episode, because it really is going to start kicking off soon. And I know I've been saying that for ages, but this has really shown that it is going to happen. What's the save button? So, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you again in a bit, folks.